All right, welcome to CSGO Out Here. I am Saga here. We have our amazing guest Jerry, IGL from forZe.
Hello.
Before we begin, we're gonna say a word from our sponsors. Firstly, Refrag, a premier CSGO training tool site. Use the code NART and you'll save 50% off on your purchase. Train like a pro, be like a pro. Underdog Fantasy, a prop bet website with focus on esports and many more. Use the code NART and Underdog will match your deposits up to the first $100. Our new sponsor, Buff Market, the international version of Buff 163. With them, it has the lowest trade. The trading fee is at 2.5%. And if you get a referrals with your friends, you can get 20% with any referrals that they deposit. And lastly, Manscaped, the premier men's grooming equipment site right now. Used for all men's grooming, body, everything like that with Manscaped with the new lawnmower 4.0. If you use the code NART20, get 20% off your next purchase, and you get also free shipping. Enough with the sponsors. Let's get to the main guest himself. Jerry, how are you?
Hello again. I think I'm good. We have a lot of work to do now, and we're doing it every day. So it's feeling good when you're inside Counterstrike. Even if you see that there is a major you're missing, uh, still
Uh,
There's still a lot of work, and there's still a lot to do, and that's pleasures me, because
uh,
you're still doing something in your favorite game.
yeah, I know. I was kind of sad that you guys didn't make it because I had you guys in my RMR. I thought you guys were going to make it. I was sad that you guys didn't because you're like one of my favorite like one of my favorite teams to follow because I always like respect you as an IGL.
Uh, You know, it's hard to it's really hard to explain the feeling because we were down 0-2, and one
Yeah,
more game and we're out. So we had a lot of preparation for each game, especially the first ones because the Sprout game we were knew about it for like 29 days before.
yeah,
So, so there is a lot of time to prepare, and once we had 0-2, and when we get back when we bounce back to 2-2, it was the same game, it was the same pressure as it was on 0-2, so nothing changed for us. But when we didn't make it, I don't know, for me it was kind of, you get what you deserve.
yeah.
Because
You do.
yeah, because you know how to play good, you know how don't make mistakes, but if the nervous taking over your head, over your cold heart or cold head, uh, that's what you get. You're losing, and especially that ancient map from 11-4, when we had all the cards in our hand and we didn't use it properly, so it should have been 2-0 in my opinion. But you know how it happens. I'm not in
Uh,
Rio now.
I want to say this when is we have like teams like FaZe right now who just kind of go to 0-2. I think they're playing Beanie right now. When you're in that 0-2 bracket and you're trying to fight back up to 3-2, like do you have like the mentality where you just don't care? You just like we're just like do or die. We're play our hardest. Like you're going in every matchup. Like you can be like we got this. We got this. Like
I,
is your mentality change?
I think every player, it's the hardest game is the first
Yeah.
one. The rest, they're just it's just consequences of what you have done in the first one. For example, if you're a good player and you play the first one game bad, that's for in my case it's Shalfela, yeah. So he had not the best game as the first one, and it's affected him really much. But after that, when he bounced back in his individual performance, everything went good, and yes, once you get 0-2 bracket, you really feel major. It should be full, full picture. It should be the full picture, full colors, everything. Best of threes, overtimes, whatever. It's the major, it's the best tournament from the CS.
Get the best of everyone's the whole map pool, everything. Get
Yes,
everyone's.
yes.
Yeah, I agree with that because like, we just saw like Cloud9, yeah, with the Challenger Series 102. I'm like, the woman's eliminated, and they get eliminated, and then best of threes happen. And I did say that when Cloud9 best of threes happen, they're gonna change, not best of one. They're gonna freaking ramp up. And the same mentality with some teams. The best I hate best of one matchups. It's a gamble. the 50-50.
And there's a lot from your mentality because, for example, you mentioned Cloud9. That's the guys who don't really care for score. They're true professionals. They know even if they get 4 rounds and the opponent already have 14 or 13,
Yeah,
they don't care. They just do what they need to do to win. They're truly professionals. But there is some other teams. For example, I think FaZe, they don't have the pretty strong mentality, but they are really individual good. And once they have a score for like 14, I think they will never put a comeback like Cloud9 do because this is. I think it's only one team that goes in your mind when you hear about insane comebacks. Like in this year at least, yeah, this half of the year.
yeah.
It's only Cloud9 for now. Or Liquid did comeback today, but it's ancient seed side. I'm not sure we can count it.
No, we can't.
Uh, yeah, and I don't know. There is no such team that pull off some great comebacks like they did because they did like 4 times already, 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think 4, I believe.
It's really hard to come back. Believe me, I'm telling you as a player because I can put it away from my head the score, but I see my teammates. They're closing up in their heads. They're looking up in their heads. They're not saying as much information as they would say if there were a good score, and it affects each player in Counterstrike. Cloud9, they're robots. I think at least for now. Yeah, they they crossed the line that not everything can do, and once they did that, now they're able to win the championship for like easy. They
now,
they crossed some other really hard line.
now, I want to ask, who do you think is actually going to win? Because this one's wide open, this major. Like, from outside perspective, all the teams playing so far, who do you think is going to win the major?
I don't have a specific answer to this because
Mm.
I was always cheering for Kenyan for Heroic because when we always play Brax against them, they're really dominated, they're really fast, they're 2 steps ahead or even 3, and I wish them to win this major, but as it seems, as mentioned, Cloud9 just kept some insane line, and they will not go back after this. They
I
will
think
hunt
so.
for they'll hunt for blood, and I think now the most consistent team here. That's the team that can do can pull off the comebacks, can win not winnable games already, can win some other clutches. The team that has 3 players that can step up. It's Cloud9, so I know it's kind of late for this. Maybe I
Yeah,
should have said it earlier, but I think Cloud9 got this. I don't know why. But that 0-2 run to this 3-0. Did they win the last game? They have
yeah, I think
3-0 now. They
let's
played
see.
against Heroic. They play against Heroic and they should have won it, I think.
I believe, let me see the results really
Yes,
fast.
they did. They did
They won it.
2-0.
They won it. Yeah, they're just too old
The-
on them right now.
And now they are the first team in playoffs, right?
Yeah, because
Look at
right now, who's the other one? The other one hasn't played yet. But yeah, they're the first ones in there. They won it kind of convincingly, I will
look at
say.
look
Like,
at this. 5 in a row.
I think that's who I have. I have like these phase, O2. They can obviously come back. Navi can obviously come back.
Yes.
It's, but I'm like, I saw how Cloud9 came back from the O2 run, the challengers, and how they're doing it right now. I'm like, they're on the like American term. They're on the gear. They're hitting it on all strides right now, and it looks like they're like the hottest team right now. They beat Phase. They beat Navi. They beat Heroic. They're clutching Shiro, Axel, all playing freaking good right now. So
They have a
that's
system. That's
they
the
have a
point.
great system.
Yes, I've been playing against them as the player when they were Gambit youngsters, and they were always flouting at them. When we back to force 2019, we were always flouting at them because they were too scripted. But after that, they made a lot of steps ahead, and now they know how to play with the structure. They know how to play without structure. They seems to be know everything because this roster is kept together for like 3 years, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
Almost.
Since COVID 2020, pretty much going out 3 years. Yeah,
Okay, two, two,
yeah,
two at least. It's
two and a
it's
half.
it's still big for the team that always in the top 10. It's still
Yeah,
big amount of time. So yes, and mm, they should get some reward, I think. But before that they were struggling to win duels, but they were struggling to do everything. But now, as you mentioned, it's like an engine. You just put it engine and it's already hot. It's already circling and everything.
exactly.
So the only one problem here is it's the once they reach the playoff, they will get the pace back because they will wait till the other teams will get into the playoff. Maybe it's one day, maybe two. I'm not exactly
I
familiar
think
with
it's
the
one. I
schedule.
think it's like one day,
One
like
day,
one day
okay.
out. Yeah,
So yeah, they just need to keep playing, keep playing, and so they don't lose the pace. The pace here is the key factor, and the pace
yeah.
in. In Counter-Strike psychology is the mentality of the head. The pace is the strongest thing to lead you to the win. There is some other things, but we can discuss it later.
I no, I have that same agreement. Even when it comes to real sports, like when it's like a team gets like that bye, like the quote unquote bye, they can have a couple days off now. Like they have like 3 days off. They need to be on structure, keep screaming, so they're never like off the gear, off the engine. Because if they fall off a little, it can hurt them. Because the first matchup they're gonna verse a team that's 3-2, and that team is gonna be hot as hell as well. I have the
Yes,
same
yes,
idea.
yes. This is really hard. But after what Cloud9 did, I think they should take it. Really,
Is there any teams that you think like who are playing like a dark horse, like a underdog team has a good shot of winning?
it's outsiders. My brother Fleet. I think.
I love everyone hates okay, everyone hates outsiders how they play, but I respect how they play because they win the game. The W's a W at the end. Like everyone hates them playing a super slow, but it wins games.
Yes,
And
the
they have a
Fleet.
system.
Yes, the Fleet perfectly fit for them because he was the really humble and he's the guy who's not talking much. And I know that James is not like to scream. I know Kickert is the really calm guy, and they joined with the two new players with Norbert and Fame. Fame is the I spoke with Fame personally in Malta, and he's really really calm as Fleet as James. So they all fit together. But Norbert is this the one is this the guy who may be hot, but if you play with the four cold players and the coach, that may be cold as well because I spoke to him as well. He's really calm, and you get cold yourself. I think he's not screaming much because once I see they're on webcams, they're not cheering a lot. They're just doing their
They're
job, and
ice cold.
yes, I scolded, and that's their big advantage over there because whatever happens, they know what to do. I can see them, but yeah, there is a lot of struggles with their play style, in my opinion, that could hurt them a lot. But if they have unique play style that leads them into the playoff or even upper, that's pretty good. All they
That's
will need
all
to do is
That's all
just
that
yeah,
matters. That's all that
hmm
matters. If they
yes,
get to the if it gets
yes,
if whatever is possible to get to the W is all that matters, and that's why they play super slow. People hate it. Hate watching them because it's like minute 30, they're still holding defaults. They're still doing something. Then bam, they do something, but it gets the W. I like that play style only for like when it's very competitive because it's so like structured. And I like watching structured CS. That's how I
that's like a
respect it.
chess, like a
Yeah.
chess,
It's like
like a
chess
chess.
matchup, perfect.
Yes, it's because some of the maps force you to play like a chess now. At
Yeah.
least there's Nuke, for example. If you put the two guys down, three guys ramp, one guy start down to make some pressure, three guys starting to pressure ramp. It's it's forcing cities to do something, but they don't know there's another guy in down that could turn around and do some cheeky stuff. And there is a lot of examples I can do it, but it's like a chess. It's hard for me in English to explain
Yeah. No,
like
I can grab
power.
it. I can grab it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
if we were talking about the figures like king, queen, pawn, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah.
There won't be. I'm not allowed to explain on that high level, but if we go for examples inside game, I can put in it. It's easy.
I have one more question before we go into more about you and forZe's. With roster moves, like when a team like how G2 made the roster move and they didn't make the major, do you believe like they should have more time, they should stick with it more time, or just do a roster change because they messed up? Like the idea of changing your roster after a bad result. Do you agree with that or you don't?
There is a lot of factors that we should keep in our heads. For example, Monesi is the guy who's really young. He knows a lot of things, but still not much experience, in my opinion. Yeah, and I have read some interviews about Monesi from Hunter. I suppose it was Hunter or Nico, and they said we don't even need to tell him what to do because he's already doing that. So we can make some conclusion that there is a three really powerful players. That's Hunter, Nika, and Monesi now. Yeah, you will always need a good sniper. So they have a good sniper, they have a star player and another strong player. Yeah, flip three players. Now what they need to do? They need to have EGL. They took a new EGL, yeah, and they took the guy will play, B anchors or A anchors, yeah.
The supportive, like quote unquote
Yes,
bitch player. Yeah.
yes. So uh, also they need the coach, because coach it will stick all together. Will see the basic mistakes from above, and that's how they make progress. And I think they were on the right path, but something happened inside their heads, and they probably, I don't know exactly, but yeah, if we are going back to original question, I think they should have given G2 should have gave them more time.
More time.
Uh, yes, more time, because the three players that makes the game, they're really important. But IGL, if they're switching IGL, there is a lot of conflicts inside the game. That must be a lot of problems and conflicts. Maybe because of the AGL authority. Maybe he's not authority enough. Maybe because the AGL course, if, if IGL course calls not working, now for example, Nika might blame him because he had this reputation in community of being really aggressive with his AGLs. They even made a video when Hooks is saying "shut up" to Nika, and after that Hunter says, "Okay, you are in," because yeah, there might be a lot of initiative from these players, because I think Monacy is really initiative guy. I think Nika is, and I think Hunter is half and half. So three a lot of talking people, and they need two guys that perfectly fit them. And this is the hardest part, I think, because if they don't have structure, like we mentioned in Cloud9, yeah, for example, if they're not able to pull off this, I mean, to cut off this initiative that not fitting the game, even if they don't have this guy, this is will be hard for them. And this roster, it should take some time. I should say, even we were I was asking Huxi before he joined G2, when he was AGL in Copenhagen Flames, how do you planning your day like IGL? I was asking him for advice, and there is a funny thing that we played Prax against them with new players, and he just wrote to me today. And he said, "Bro, you own me one because you asked for my advice," and he asked me for advice. I was really surprised, and yeah, so I think these guys, they're not just sitting on salary, they're doing their job. But yeah, that's one mistake that organization don't like to forgive. It's not making into the major, not getting stickers. This is hard for good organization like G2, but since the players all want, and if they have the good chemistry inside, they should have they should have more time, that's for sure. And also, I read about X2Z interview, and said he was weakless. He was not able to do anything. Maybe that was because of the initiative of these players. It's just suggestion. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe because a lot of initiative and he couldn't handle all the initiative, or maybe they were not much believing in his system because they have own system inside their heads. Something comes wrong here, and yeah, maybe we should give them more time. That's for sure, in my opinion.
I wanted to. You mentioned that Hooksy. He gave you advice. Any way you can tell us what the advice was for the new people?
Yeah. So I was asking about how do you approach the uh, theory thing, communication before prax or after prax about your basic mistakes or what you have seen in prax, so to discuss it after, so you can keep it inside your head. So that was the I can tell you exactly question, but it was about it. So, and he answered me that they are making some discussion before the prax and a little bit after. So what does it mean? Let me explain for the newcomers, as you mentioned. If you if you discuss something before prax, you have the points to do point one, point two, point three, because you all just went through it. You discussed it, right? Once you get through it, you will get the result. And what's the discussion after prax? It's the result you're discussing. So you don't need to do A executed the first time on map Demirage because you will have a two Molotov in your face and smoke and palace. That's what you should do in practice. If you want to do A execute, you will do it later after your enemies throw some grenades, right? So that's the first point. Second and third, no examples. And after the practice, you discuss: is it working good for you, or if you don't do any space on map the Mirage for T side, the good cities will not throw this smoke, will not throw this Molotov, only at the beginning, yeah, anti-rush. But after that, your team didn't make space in mid, for example, or didn't make pressure, so they kept the grenades, and you still do the same execute. And that's what you discuss after. Even if you have solution, there is always two more solutions after you get the first solution. So it's the Counterstrike now. It's really hard. It's the thing that you should discuss all the time. All the time, new ideas, something new.
All right. Now, I want to go more into. Let's start more into you before we hit the Forza. So, one sec. Let me stand up here. You have been with Forza since like 2017. You left that spot deck team. What made you stick with Forza for like 5 years now?
The main goal for me is the stability. So the force organization are really stable with what they are doing. With the things for like boot camp, salary, etc. So it's all okay. The my CEO understands what team needs, and he can always provide it. But I had a lot of good players with me. For example,
Oh
it was
yeah, I know. You
Sea
had a lot of good
Power.
players.
Yes, yes, yes. All of them were no-namers just like me. And we started with little inside team. Kucher, the player who was playing for Hellraisers in 2014 on some major. I don't even remember which one it was. And I had Facecrack and Kibakin. Now he's known as Tony Black. And that was my first roster. And I had an AGL that he was seeing the game his own way. We have some discussions, fights about how we should approach the game. And I was not AGL in that time. But after that, I took some time. We made a lot of roster changes. Some other coach come back, Striker. That's the Kazakhstan guy, the guy from Kazakhstan. Yeah, and I became an AGL. And after that, I realized that my teammates are listening to me. I have some authority. My organization are asking me what to do better. So uh, there is a I can hear them and they can hear me. So that's the most important thing for me as well, except stability, as I mentioned before. So I stick with Forza because my CEOs they hear me. I hear them as well, and I get almost the players I want. Maybe not the expensive one like tier one scene. By simple by Mones, $500,000. No, not
you,
like this,
you you
but
you get the prospects that you want, the guys, the up and comers, the really like the gems that you will get.
yes,
Correct?
something like that. Yes, and people hear me there, here in this organization. That's what I like because I think even each good organization that don't have $1 million to buy players, they should listen for people who know seen from inside, who's playing, not the guy who is sitting with a lot of money and saying, "Okay, this guy is good. His LTV rating is 1.21. We should buy him, and buy him, and that's gonna work." No, 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 no. This is not how it works. Maybe sometimes, but
Maybe sometimes.
yes, most of the cases is not how it works. Only with some incredible players, incredible stars, but still, one simple joined Navi, they had a lot of struggles before they changed the roster. Yet again,
Like,
got good player joined Navi, and they didn't have much success because it was Astralis era.
the
Astralis had all the
Charles
success,
era, yeah.
and Liquid as the full runner up, as we call it. Yes, so uh, there's a lot about chemistry. There is a lot about being heard by your teammate, by your coach, and there is a lot of structure in this one. So yeah, I stick with Force because I mentioned already.
um, the CIS region has has like so many great IGLs like Zeus with Navi and Gambit. You have Blade. Where do you consider yourself ranked among them and the other great IGLs in the CIS region?
I think I started to see Counterstrike how it should be really late, maybe only at my 22 age. Yeah, I think 22. I'm 24 now. Yeah, so I start to feel myself that I'm coming closer to these legend names like Zeus, like Blade, like Hooch. Uh, and I consider myself that I like an AGL that will get the success they had. They had it in that meta. I will have it in this new meta that will come after this meta, and this meta. It's always changing for a little, but it's changing. And yeah, I think I played with a lot of good coaches. I played with five coaches, and I took some experience from each of them, and that what gives me a lot of uh, a lot of painting on the map. I can paint some. I can create something like just on my on my legs just in a few seconds because I had a lot of experience, and I think in some time with proper work I will be among these great AGLs. Yeah, just just need some time. Just need to figure out how to get my next roster. Yeah, and I think it will be okay. I know how to work with people, and I know how to conquer the hearts. Let's say that.
Yeah, there was a lot of articles and podcasts like they kind of like state you as like one of those like the unrecognized in-game leaders, and they deserve a lot of credit for like growth and development in in the CIS region, and also growth and development for like up and comer players. Uh, do you agree with that? Like, do you consider yourself like a very unrecognized IGL compared to the other good ones at the moment?
Yes, that's for sure, but it's because we as a team didn't compete much at top tier tournaments, like it's called Tier S or something, Tier A.
Yeah,
We
pure
didn't
like premier. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yes, yes, Premier. We didn't compete there much, and there will be time. There will be time. The time will pass, and the people will recognize more. That's it. Because here in the country where I live, in Russia, we are not all organization are know how to extract money from media factor. You know what I mean? Yeah, because
Yeah.
some good organizations they spend a lot of money because they have a lot of money into media thing, and people might being recognizable for because your organization pay for it. But there is exceptions, for example, as the Gambit, now it's known as Cloud9. They almost didn't stream much. Yeah, they when they were Gambit youngsters, they lived in a house, and Exile was streaming sometimes, Shiro was streaming sometimes, Nafani was streaming sometimes, but it was all about sometimes. It was really rarely thing, and everyone knows them. But why they knows them? Because they have a lot of victories, and uh, I have I've studied into how Zeus have his rosters. Yeah, it's once you're AGL, it's all about to build around you with the really good and skilled players. For example, I was working with the coach LMBTR, Sergey, his name, and I was really wondering because he was working with Mouse Sports back to 2018 when there were a major team with when they had Robs, Kerrigan, Chris J, Sani, and Oscar, I suppose, not sure. And I was asking him about Sergey, how Kerrigan approached the game, how do he call? And I found a lot of similar things with me. But I realized that what player was around him and what player was around me in the same time. And I realized that AGO is the guy who should around himself with the really good and skilled player that believe in him, and that's how the great teams works. I mean, not everyone. Some teams are not working like that, but in my opinion, in my vision of Counter Strike, it's working like that with who I am. Let's say like that.
You pretty much answered the next question I was gonna answer. Like you had like amazing like prospects and players who moved up, like X Power, Flit, Zorte, and you're always considered an IGL who are able to like mold players to compete against tier one teams. Like you just kind of explained the magic. You're able to find these guys pretty well. You want to care elaborate on that a
Yeah,
little? Like,
we can let's say that once player joined my team, I give him all the credit and all the freedom he wants because I know that the good player he's exactly know what to do, but he needs to be a little bit moved a little, so he knows the vector, how to approach the game, how to get his 30 kills, 30 bombs, but he need to be a little more careful sometimes. He need to be a little more faster sometimes, a little more slower sometimes, and that's what I do. I just talk with them. No, I communicate with them a lot. I trying to explain that here in this team he can do player, yeah, he can do whatever he wants, but it should fit some structure. It should fit some rounds. It should fit the team chemistry, and that's what. My part of the job is one of the parts of the job is to stick together with all players I have inside my team, and once I get it, we can be top 15. But to move forward, we need to keep working, keep working, keep working. That was always the problem. Sometimes it was because of the me and the coach, for example, we didn't find the proper language to or proper ways to do the job. Sometimes it was because it just happened, like for example with Fleet, because he didn't find the proper relationship with the organization. He must should have and he should live, and that's what he did. And there is a lot other things, but I'm not giving up. I
yeah.
just know that sometimes it's your mistake, sometimes it's just happens, sometimes it's just life, sometimes it's someone buying you player, and that's just a part of the way. Still, it's your way. You just need to follow it.
We mentioned before we talked about this, like with forZe not making it to the major, which I didn't. I wanted you guys to go through right after, like you guys benched Kenzie in Norway. What made you guys make that decision to bench those two players?
I think it was even before the major. It was decision that didn't came really hard actually because we had a problem with the team, as a team, not as the five professionals and one coach. We had a problem to stick together, to communicate together. We have some teams inside team, and I was not able to do anything in that because I actually tried, but it's like going to psychologist. If you don't want to be helped and someone force you to go to psychologist, he will never help you, whatever how much professional he is, and that's the thing here. I tried to talk with them. My coach tried to talk to them. Manager, we everyone stayed together with the round table, but still, people don't want it. Didn't want it to be as a whole team, as the whole piece. And what about decision? Taken. It was taken even before the major, after the first major, because we had some conflicts inside the team, and we were not able to solve it because one player didn't stuck with another one, and he's not saying, okay, I will live with some things I don't like in you. He was saying opposite way. He was saying, bro, I hate you, la 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 la, and he
All
didn't.
the inner team like drama. Yeah, I understand.
Yes, 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 and he didn't want to do anything with that. That's the biggest problem. And sometimes you hate someone, but you work with him, you do everything you want. I mean, not you want, but you need to do, yeah, as a professional. And you here comes the result. But there in this roster, we went through RMR in um, how it was Romania, yeah, Bucharest.
Yeah.
We went into Antwerpen major, and we were there 2-0, which almost beat Vitality. We could have even beaten it, yeah. And we had a lot of good runs because coach helped a lot, some my calls helped a lot, and our players were really good. They were playing for idea, but after this major, we talk. We discussed a lot, and we decided we need to keep moving forward, to work more, to create more. And not everyone shared that idea as it should have been, in my opinion. And that's the case. So we have different approach to game. We have different vision to the situations inside the community. A community, it's the thing I called team. So we had teams inside teams, separation, and that's what lead us to this loss from Bad News Eagles as well, because right before this game we had a lot of disagreements, and they were not about game. That's the funny part. They were about personalities of other people, and that's the scariest thing actually, because you ruin you ruin your own career or your own result or your own getting sticker inside the game. That's the dream of a lot of players, because you just don't like someone. I will not tell you who and who, but
I'm
that's the thing.
not gonna
Yeah,
ask.
but
I'm not gonna
yes.
ask for it.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing. So you sticking you stick the how it's in English. When you ride the bicycle, you take a stick, you put it inside your
The
wheel.
training wheels. Take the training wheels off. Got it.
So yes, yes, that's what they did for, and they didn't understand. They do it. That's the most scary thing. They was thinking it's okay to to don't have a team. Like you don't need to have good relationship inside team. Yes, from some point I agree, because you don't need to be friends to win. You can just be professional, right? But
Yeah.
professional includes to don't blame personality of the man. You can blame his professional qualities, but not personality qualities. That's the big difference when, and we didn't make it through. So yeah, now we're in the search in the search of the new players.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
my next. That's my next question's gonna be. It's so far. It's you, Zorte, and Shelfie. How
Yes.
is finding the last two teammates coming along?
There is actually a lot of players that want to join. There's some players who already tested, as you maybe saw on ltv.org that we played against the Fnatic Rising in the ESL
Yeah,
Challenger.
I was actually like, I was doing a little research. I was like, hey, who's forZe looking? Who's those two guys? I was looking like, who are you trying out now? So anyone's. Sorry, could continue. My bad.
Yes, yes, yes. So, and in our structure, with our three guys and plus coach, I think even two not the best players in the world can be top 20 actually. But since we want more than that, we have a lot of players to test. We have a lot tasks to do, and for example, we had Sugar and Aunker. Aunker is the guy who streams more because his professional career ended when he uh, left Navi Junior. I mean, the professional career. I mean, when you play all the time in the teams. So he had
Yeah,
some kind of house, you know, and because of that pause he started to take more time to stream, yeah, and he started to be a kind of famous streamer of FPL. But in real life I communicate with him because we live in the same city. I just consider him as a good friend, and I asked him, maybe you want to try, because you had insane aim, you have insane understanding, but since you didn't play a lot of the teams, there will be a problems. I'm pretty sure, but the question is if you're ready. And he said yes, and he made the sacrifice. I can tell you which one, but he made it. And we tested him in official game, and we will test him against the current champion of the ESL Challenger. It's the Team 9, Polish one, with the Sparrow.
yeah.
And we actually won them in the funny fact, we won them in the group stage of ESL Challenger. After that, we were not able to continue with the same roster, and we withdraw ourselves from this tournament. And because of our withdrawal, the nine that we already won in the decider, they get our slot. And after they
That's
get our slot, they won the ESL Challenger.
that's come on. That's
Yeah,
just like
yes.
the worst situation possible.
Yes, and now we're forced to play against them, and we will play in the current lineup. It's Ankere and Sugar for now. For now, yeah. I'm still saying that we're testing some players. We just practiced with them, but I'm not able tell you who is that. But Sugar and Ankere, it's the two players that we will stick on for this ESL Challenger, and probably one more tournament, so we can just test what we're capable of. And we need one more win to keep our slot in ESL Challenger, because it's really hard to, if you get out of there, you play C main or advanced. I don't even remember. It's
All the low end
it's
stuff. Yeah.
it's really hard. It's as hard as you play the online qualifier for RMR tournament. Yeah, we did pass for this online roulette with 1,000 teams all the time, but still, it's the worst nightmare when you forced to play best of ones to qualify for the
Yeah.
best championship of the world. But I know, if it comes to online, best of one are good because if you are good in you
You
know
should be able to win.
yes, because there's not such teams as such matchups as Natus Windsor against Liquid or FaZe against the Cloud9. There's none of.
Yeah.
So yeah, in online qualifier it's the good format, but if on major himself it's terrible. We talked about this, but I
Yeah.
wanted to tell you one more time because
They'll make sure I'll post that on all over Twitter and everything. No best of ones on majors. I'll put that down.
that would be great.
um, it we have a lot of people in Nart's Discord and forums. People struggling finding like players for teams and stuff like that. Is there any advice you can give them?
Yeah, of course. It's all about I will go from far, but you will understand, I think. I will try to explain
Oh,
myself as so uh I will go from far. So first of all, the Counter-Strike is the mirror of what you are in real life. If you're in real life the guy who knows initiative, yeah, who knows how to communicate with people, it will be easier for you to find a team. But if you're not communicate guy, you're not able to go outside and communicate with someone, make agreement. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. N- If you grow up with the PC, with the games, you're not like that for sure. 99% you're not. So you need to find some advantage of yourself that you will sell for people. For example, it might be your skill. Everyone does that with skill. You drop 30 bombs each face it. Pe- People would like to play with you, obviously, yeah? But sometimes you're not able to drop 30 bombs. So what should you do? You should take advantage of your bad things. For example, you are the guy who likes to rush. So you will need to learn how to rush the same B or same A or same mid on Mirage with 5 different ways. And once people get in lobby with you, you will explain them, okay, I need this, and you go there. So I'm not telling you need to be in AGL, but you will need to boost the things you like to do. And once you boost these things, people will start to know you because you play face it with the guy who's know 5 ways to rush mid and he's making calls like you go three guys A because they will fight for mid with the three people. There only one B on A because he will flash for the guy who want to fight mid and he know about something in game. So all you need to do is boost your confidence. That's the first and main thing because from confidence it's your skills growing up, yeah. And the second thing is you need to sell something for people you're playing with. It might be calls, but not as in-game leader when you take all the responsibility. No, it could be 2, 3, 4 simple calls for each map for T-side. T-side is the most hardest one, right? And one or two for city. And even I sometimes go to the Face It Premium. I call for people. I just call for them, and they're wondering how we win T side on nuke like 10-0. How we do it? It's just because you give people something, and you will get something in return. Because if you're not able to be as the guy who's going outside, as I mentioned, and talk with people, if you're not that communicative, you just need to find something you'd like to do, boost it, and then sell it for all people you're playing with. If you know how to rush, you do it with 5 ways. If you're really slow player and you're not good with getting information in time, you just need to find some call that will give you team advantage and you go from behind. You play as a lurker, but you need to be a lurker who wins rounds. That's no one like lurker on Faceit that just losing all the time, yeah? It's 1v3, 1v3, you play for kill death rate, and no, that's not your case. You need to sacrifice something as well. You need to sometimes play a little faster. Even if you're lurker, sometimes you need to take pressure. But to understand that, You guys will need to learn that you find something good in you as the player and you boost it. You just work on it, you just work on it, and then you sell it. That's pretty simple because even Counter Strike, even Counter Strike, it's some kind of show business. You know, you need to sell yourself. That's considers for a good team, tier one, tier two. Everyone knows who's Fallen is, yes, right, because of his achievements, because of what he have done for the Brazilian community. Yeah, but you as the small player, you still have a chance to be like that, but all you need to do is the first step. This is the hardest one. So the first step is to getting yourself better all the day by day. You become better. Once you become better, everything will come around. Everything will come to you. Just believe me. If you do something, the water, it's again. I know how should I say it in Russian. It's like maybe you know
So
it.
you can say it in Russian. Go right ahead. I'll
No,
translate
no,
it. Don't worry.
no, yeah, no. Listen, it's when water it don't go into the rock or it's like when you don't do anything, won't happen. That's a simpler way. But in Russian, it's called вода не течет там под стоячий камень. What? This is the Russian way of say it. It's the words that everyone understand. So it's translating like if you don't do anything, won't happen. So that's my the biggest advice. You just guys be better, and all you need to do is to sell yourself. You want to find a team. You say, I'm not in game leader, but I can make calls to win, and that's already something. That's already the step. So all the times make some little steps, and you will get what you want. That's for sure. That's for sure. The biggest problem from people who grow up in PC like me, it's the problem that they don't know how to get what they want in life because they're always looking at the PC screen. And how do you learn that? Only in real life. But if you know what to do, if you know the steps, everything will come up for you. Just do what you know and uh, get yourself better all the day by day.
Now, since what do you look for forZe going forward to 2023 and like and on?
We find the proper players as we see them. What means proper for us? Yeah, I think we will be able to get back in top 15 again, and after the top 15, we will be compete at major. That's the main goal as well because uh, once you get into the major, you realize that all the teams they're preparing for major, and that means that among these teams, you are among these teams. You are among the best of the best. You are among those who training each day to get there, and you there as well. That means you're on the right path. So that's the first step. I think it's getting into the major again, into the top 20, top 15. Yeah. So I think in force in 2023. There is two little goals. Go into the major, stay and be in the top 20, top 15 as we had before with all the rosters.
Sorry for the little interruption.
It's okay.
All right. Now we're going to you mentioned forZe being competitive, which I want to see. How would you compare the competitiveness of like the EU, like the Western EU, like France, Spain, Germany, compared to the CIS region? Is there a huge difference competitive wise?
It's it's let's say there is 2 points. One of this point it's really point hard to understand. It will be the second one, but it's pretty funny. And the first point in that people in Europe they sorry they have more discipline. They know how to be professional. That's the main difference between CIS and Europe region, for example. The people know how to be professional. This is the main thing. The second one, it's the hard one. Uh, for example, let's try let's try to explain why there is a lot of Scandinavian players from Denmark, yeah, and why there is none such good players from Spain or Italy.
Or Greece?
What yeah, maybe, yeah. Yes, you got the point there. What's in your mind first? I know the answer, but the answer is because of the weather. Weather, you have the sun all the time outside. For example, in Italy, it's good ping from Spain or Italy to Europe. It's not much, like it's 40 or 50. That's okay. That's okay. You can play with it. You can qualify for major with this ping. So uh, w- why is that? Because on Denmark, it's the weather like in Moscow, in St. Petersburg. There is no much sun. There is a lot of cold days in the year, and you just don't want to go out with to hang on with someone. You just sit down in comfort, play your favorite game, and you spend on it like 10 hours, maybe 12. But when it comes to the Spain, for example, you just look outside, you see there is a sea, there is a sun, there is a warm weather. Why should I sit home and play 10 hours of Counterstrike? And
I like
tr-
this answer.
tr- tr-
It's a
trust
good answer.
Trust me. This is how it works. If you compare all the regions where there is a good weather or the sea nearby, there will be no much more than 5 good players. And if we go for the regions where the bad weather or really cold, you don't want to go outside, there will be 20 or more. That's how it works. Sweden, Denmark. I don't know about Norway. Maybe in Norway they have some kind of insane
It's probably the
game.
same. It's probably the same thing.
Maybe, but there is not much big names from Norway, and there is a little gap in my logic, but I think it's still about how popular this game, yeah, and region. So we need to take 2 points when it should be popular, and should be a lot of players a lot of people who play PC. For example, if you take Steam statistics, maybe there is a lot of players from CIS, from Germany, from France, from I don't know, whatever, but there is no even PC owners in Norway. Maybe. So
Maybe.
I'm just trying to fill the gap. But the truth is, for sure, 100%, this is how it works. So in CIS, here we have bad weather. Here we have, let's say, not the best life conditions. Yeah, not the best one. That's, trust me, and that forces people to work from home. That forces people to work hard. That's it. That's how it works in CIS. But we're not professionals here, not everyone. Yeah, it's really hard to get professional player in CIS. There's a lot of competition here. A lot of competition.
Yeah, I can tell there's a lot of competition there.
Yeah, and for example, Germany, I think there are people know how to be a professional, but they just don't have the how is the thing called, that explosive one, the explosive powder. I forgot the word.
Me too.
It's
I'm going blank.
it's a thing that people using in cannon. You just
Oh, the gunpowder. The gunpowder.
gun well, yes, gunpowder.
Yeah.
There is there in Germany, France, Europe, for example, there is a lot of professional players, but they don't have enough gunpowder. Yeah, they don't have it. And in CIS, here people are over
Oh,
gunpowder.
oh, so much
Trust me.
firepower.
Yes. And this is how we can
I
compare these
mean,
regions.
the land that made the AK-47's gotta have enough firepower. Let's be real.
Uh,
All right, a couple more questions before we go on to some more like casual ones. Do you consider yourself a top IGL at the moment in the world? Like, would you consider yourself one?
there is such a thing that called karma, and if I tell so, something bad might happen. But I consider myself as the good player who understands the game, who can build people around me, and who can lead people to victory. So if it fits the thing you mentioned about the good worldwide AGL, let it be
There's a
like that.
there's a phrase in America. It's like you're a molder of men. You're like a creator of you're a coach, like a leader who can create his team perfect. That's how I would say you like the molder. Like it is. I don't think there's something in Europe like that, but in America it's like the
Yeah,
molder of men. That's how you are. That's how I
I
kind of you're like
I
the staple for that.
I like it actually. I
Yeah,
mean, I like what I do,
yeah.
except playing.
That
Yeah.
all right. There's like, have you ever received like received any like offers to go to a big organization outside Forza?
Yes, yes. I had one before Chopper get back into the spirit. Yeah, I had this one, but I never said it was what it was. But you can think, and I have never said I'm a free agent in Twitter. But even after this major, I had a lot of offers that people want to play with me, want to build a roster around me. I'm not able to tell you what it was, but
No problem.
there was one big offer, and other ones we can compare them with the Forza. It's something like that. And always after the major, something right to me. Yes, people want to work with me. At least try and see what I'm capable of. So yeah, one day I will probably leave it because I mean, Forza, because you will always need to go forward, but it's not today and it's not tomorrow. So yeah, let's just keep it like that.
Keep it right there.
Yes, yes.
Now there's like a kind of like the region CS, like whole French teams, whole Swedish teams, like not that much in CIS. But would you ever consider like going international at all, or would you primarily want to stay in the CIS region?
I
The-
consider myself as the guy who can call on English, but yeah, I think that's a pretty good experience. But I think that rosters with the same language they have a little bit advantage. But if they will call me for the to call for the big names, I might take this chance because I will have advantage of the
Yeah,
big names, you know. And yeah, we can figure out something to be good in English because I think I can explain myself almost clear in English, but there might be some things inside the game, the professional things, that will not take easy to me. But I believe I can do it.
that's good to hear. Now couple like laid back questions before we end it off. Um, I asked this to everybody. How did you get into CS?
Oh, that's a pretty interesting story. I was learning in school like everyone do, you know.
Yeah, everyone learns in school.
Yeah, so and I like to play Counterstrike, and I had this feeling when you go into the public, I want to destroy everyone. That was my case all the time. I went into the server and I was really toxic. I was trying to prove for everyone that I'm the best one, that I can do 5 headshots with deagles. So I started with 1.6. In 1.6, I was like to play not competitive, unfortunately. I like to play mini games, Death Run, Kizzy, jumps, and etc. All the stuff. And after that, I went into the Source. Source was the best time in my life because it was the school time. You go after the school and you play CAS Office, for example. You play CAS Assault, some maps with the hostages, other maps, I mean. And I really enjoyed of playing with my friends because I knew I was better than them, and it's always my thing to just to get over them, to get better of them, without cheats, of course.
Of
So
course, of course, of course.
yeah, so and after that, I realized that playing Counter Strike is good, but there is other games, and I switched into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which I'm still playing sometimes. I think this is the best game
Uh,
for
ha-
multiplayer. With
have you got the new one yet?
no, but
Uh,
there will be time. There will be time, maybe in vacation, but not now. A lot of work to
yeah,
do.
good.
If I
It's good to know that you're so focusing on Counter Strike. That's the
because
good thing to know. It's a
it,
test.
It's if I jump into the new Call of Duty, I think that might
You're
be for
gone.
long. Yes, yes, yeah. I really like Call of Duty. So yeah, I went for some other games and I started to practicing in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 when I was 12 years old, I suppose. Maybe yeah, I think 12.
It's been that long. Yeah.
So yeah, I started to practicing there and I played with my teammates for 1 year. After that, I switched into MOBA games. It was the Hon, Heroes of Never, or something.
Heroes of Networth, League, and Dota at the time.
Yes, I didn't play LOL, but I switched into Dota soon, and I spent in Dota for like 4K hours, maybe four and a half. So I played there from 2013 to 2014, and I really enjoyed it. But after that, I realized that there is some competitive matchmaking system released in Counterstrike. I didn't know about it. I just didn't follow it anything, any news, you know. And oh, I thought, finally, I can go into Counterstrike and show everyone that I'm not just noob, but I have global elite rank. I was like global elite. That's in that time for me. It sounds like wow, yeah, and that's why I switched into Counter Strike from Dota. I abandoned Dota just because this system that I can prove myself somewhere. And after that, I realized there is a cyber sport, esports all the time that was going on. Just I missed it. There was ESVC tournaments, Intel Extreme Master tournaments with the 1.6, and I was just like,
Getting yourself
how?
into it.
Yes, how is that possible? And yeah, I started to play with teams. I was playing matchmaking and I was just asking people to join me to play the next game if I like them. And with that request, one guy answered, I have a team. You want to play Prax? I said, okay, bro, let's go. And that's how I started to play Prax online. But it wasn't enough. I started to visit local lands here in St. Petersburg. In St. Petersburg, I started to visit local lands, and there some guy noticed me, let's say it like that. And that's how my not professional career, but just the career starts. I realized that team play and matchmaking and or face it, it's really different things. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, it is.
I started to learn some team experience there, and till 2016, all the things I've done, it was the playing pracs, going into the local lands, or I was playing Gfinity Cups. I don't know, there is not such platform, I
No, but
suppose.
I know of them though. I heard of them.
It was the night tournaments that was like starting at 12 a.m. in my time and
Wow.
ended up at 5. And I played that with some ruthless people that don't wanted to sleep as well. And I ended up in 5 a.m. and my school started at 8 a.m. So I was sleeping for 2 hours just to earn some money. I had a really big motivation there. It was the prize pool with 200. It was 200 English funds or how I should call it. I don't
Yeah,
remember
dollars,
exactly.
dollars, dollars. Yeah.
Let's no. It was the exactly funds. It's no, yeah,
Oh.
UK, United
All right,
Kingdom
yeah,
money.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pounds. Yeah.
Yes. So after that, I came some to other lands, and some people started to see me from. It was a team called B dot sex. And yeah, uh, that team, it was the team when Star Ladder existed, and he was providing some Star Series tournaments. Blamey played for this tag. It was really long time ago, and those people they saw me, and that's how I started to play on Hell TV. Some organization synced up for us. It was just MCI or something like that. We had I had a salary with it was $85 per month. And I was really good with it because I was playing on Hell TV, and Hell TV games was something incredible for me. And after that, I started to play some competitive Counter Strike. I went into Kaliningrad. That's the city in Russia. It's close to Poland, actually. Yeah, and there was some tournament when Little played, Tony Black, Kibakin, Facecrack, Hooch, and someone else. I don't exactly remember. And I played against them. No, I didn't play against them. Someone other team won them, but we won the tournament. And after that, come some guy come to me, and I didn't know who it was, but it was the manager of their team, and he gave me the mm, prize pool with the cash in toilet. And he said, did you want to join? I said yes. He said, you have a game on Tuesday. I was okay. Tuesday, there is a Monday already, and I go out with my friend. We like to have a good walks, like 3 hours, to just reach the final destination. And just on the half of the way, 1 hour, one half hour and half away from my home, and 1 hour and half away from the final destination, Nirvana called me and said, "You have game in 40 minutes." Oh, I was running like never before. Really, and that was my first game. No, it was my first game, but it was my first game with the Spartak tag. After that organization, well, I had a CIS minor. We won Spirit there. Lost to Vega or Tengri, don't remember exactly. Tengri won that minor, and that was when my real career started. I started to visit some tournaments, and then we. Yeah, there is a really long story. So
Long
yeah,
story.
yes. So how I get into esports? I think I get
Oh, you got there
answer.
good.
Yes, yes.
Now, I want to ask, how did you come up with your name,
Oh,
Jerry?
that's really interesting. When I back in 2013, when I was playing Dota 2, uh, there was some system that let me tell you, don't exactly remember the name. It was like that. You want to trade with man, yeah, and you give your item to the third guy, and guy you want to trade with money, he gives the money to the third guy, and third guy, it's like a guarantee guy. He gives you money and him item. That was the thing, so you don't get scammed, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and I was playing with the guy from India. He had a ping 100, but he just liked to play with me. He's just a humble guy. I'm still
Yeah.
communicating with him. That's the funny fact. And he said, "Bro, you want to get some money, free money?" I said, "Okay." I was like 14 years old. Free money for me in then back then.
Why not? Yeah.
Yes, and he said, all you need to do is to put the name of this guy and his team, and he sent me a link when there was the guy who had a lot of Dota 2 items, and his name was Jerry. I remember the system. It's called middleman, not
Oh, yeah,
guaranteed,
middleman. Yeah,
middleman. Yes.
yeah.
So it was the famous middleman, and he was calling himself Jerry, and he had the Jerry mouse and his team picture. So he said, all you need to do is to put up his team picture, put his Steam name, then I will add you to some conference, and you will discuss some trade with the guy. And that time I decided it was a scam, but still I agreed. I agreed. And once I get into this conversation, I realized that he's trying to scam the guy, but the guy was already know that it's a bullshit. And he said to me in Russian language, "Bro, ты действительно..." Yeah, okay. Yeah, bro, do you really want to do this? And I answered him on Russia as well. No, it's already all understandable. And he left the conversation. I said to this guy, "Bro, your plan failed." He said, "Oh no," and I just kept the name because I was really lazy to change it, and that's how it come up my name in Counter-Strike. That's really funny. But
That's a good one.
yeah, back there, I had a nickname. Caution is 256. 256. That's my first nickname in 1.6. Counter Strike. It was just I was 4 years old and I needed to create a nickname, so I just slapped my hand
Got it.
to the
And you got
keyboard.
246.
Yes, 256. And after that, 256 is became a part of my life. I realized that this number means a lot. Actually, it's the memory size. In that back then,
Yeah, true.
has a lot of math sense. It's 2 in 8 degree, if I'm not mistaken, on
Yeah,
something
it is.
something
Something
like
around
that.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was magical number. Maybe it helped me somewhere.
A couple more questions. Like,
Yeah.
if who's one player you will love to play with? It could be current or who's retired. You'll love to play with on your team one day, if you had to.
Mm, mm, That's really interesting. I think it's Blade. I think it's Blade. I
Blade?
think yes, I think this is the guy who has insane big brain but don't have much mechanics. And I just would love to hear what he would say inside the game, like middle calls or something. Just just to learn from him because I have heard some things about how do he approach his coaching in Navi, and I realized that this guy is really boss of Counterstrike. I remember he was playing for Flipside and he was playing like a shit, but still,
And
this
they,
guy.
they they beat Nip. They beat Nip in Cologne, and everyone got shocked. I remember that still.
Yeah, and he was mechanically bad, but I think what he does inside the game, what he can call, what mid calls he can give, and what he can create from nothing, I think that's the worth of a lot of everything maybe in Counter-Strike because not much people understand game as we mentioned before, like a chess. Not everyone, and I think Blade he is exactly know how to force the rotations, how to fake the rotations, how to double fake rotations, how to end up on site in 20 seconds with just everything 5 players chilled. I don't know. Now Blade tactics, there was a joke, like everyone said, Blade tactics. It's when you come up on site in 20 seconds and not able to plant the bomb because your bomb carrier is dead and some exchange is happening and just no one cares about the bomb. Yeah, it was called Blade tactics. Everyone laughed at that, but still, in damn, it showed up that they were not right with the laughing. I mean.
uh, uh, what's one map do you want to be seeing change in the map pool?
Think it would be great to remove Vertica, not because I don't play it. I was actually playing it even back in 2014 in matchmaking and really enjoyed it, but I think it's kind of boring map, let's say that. Really fast rotations and not much to see, just
What
two
map do
smokes.
you what map do you want to come? Do you want to see it get replaced with?
Cobblestone for sure. That's
Oh, thank you. A man of culture. I love Cobblestone.
This is the best map actually. I mean, there was a lot of variations how you play it. I even remember there was a smoke almost from T spawn to A door rotation to B, and
Yeah, I
there
remember
was
BP used to do some stuff like that.
they had in that map there were a lot of let's say beautiful rotations. There were a lot of variation of P smokes, for example. There were a lot of variation when someone does a wall of the smokes and go from drop to A or to B, or when even I saw I don't remember where, but some team made an A rush from ramp to B. They made some wall of the smokes and run into the B with the Tech Nines or something. And this map is beautiful with the variation, yeah. So
Yeah,
when Vertigo, it's not rich with variation. It's just to A executes and to B executes, I don't know. And it's all about rotation. You catch rotation, you kill rotation, you kill lurker. There is second lurker. Oh no, I don't expect second lurker on my third second. I don't know this map. It's boring, really.
I want Cobble back. I want the not the one that changed that ruined the B side entrance, the old school one before they ruined it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
old
that
school
one.
for sure. Yes, yes, it's best map ever. I mean,
I love that map.
I would like to play on it again.
I love that map.
Valve should listen.
They should. What does Jerry do outside CS?
I spent time with my girlfriend, but there before girlfriend, I was really love to walk outside with my friends. I had a lot of, I have a lot of forest around my house, my flat, yeah, and we would like to. As a kid, I really like to to explore things around me, and we with my friends had a lot of friends. I stick them together when I was a kid, and we're still communicating. Well, I mean, everyone are together. A lot of people they are just separate from after school or something, but the factor that I like to build people around it's that fact helped my company to stick together for so long time. I know people from there from when I was 3 years old, and we're still communicating for
That's good to hear.
more than 20 years. That's really impressive. Sometimes I think about that, and I feel bad for people who are saying they can't find a friend because this is really hard. Everyone needs a person. So back to original question. I like to explore things. I like to travel, but because of the Counter-Strike, I put
Yeah.
this thing on travel, and all I can do is to travel not far away. For example, with my typical schedule, we have only one weekend, and on that weekend, I trying to wake up earlier to, for example, visit or to walk to the some interesting destination ways. The back to when I was a kid, we had three, yeah, no, two abandoned military bases and one abandoned polygon. It's it's where when military are using trying weapon. It's
Yeah.
called polygon, I think. Not sure, or it's in
Like a
English the
shooting
same.
range here. Yeah. We
Yes,
have something
yes,
similar. Yeah.
yes. So we were like to visit these abandoned military bases to steal from there some, something that already abandoned, no one needed, but it's still called steal for us because uh, you need to go through fence, you need to go
It's
through
a
fence.
thrill. The thrill
Yeah,
of getting there is more
yeah,
exciting than
yeah,
actually doing there.
yes, and we had a lot of exploration over the place where I live, and there is some other strange thing, and we just when we was 18 or 19, I look into the map where I live, and I saw in the forest that there is a big circle with the trees, trees everywhere, but you can see a slightly circle, like uh, unrecognized air objects, or how it calls, aliens.
Yeah. The cops are.
So
They got it.
yes, and we went there to look what's inside, and we discovered. Let me translate this word because it's the rare one, I think. It's the well,
Yeah. Well.
yeah. We found a ancient ancient well inside the forest that's surrounded with the circles that with sticks the sticks with the sticks that was where old people they take a stick and it make it sharp,
Oh, and
so
it. Yeah. Yeah.
like a fence defense, but the
Yeah.
sharp one. And those circles in forest, it was the circles of these sticks, like a defensive
Got
defense.
it.
Yeah,
They're
and
putting defense around the well. Yeah.
inside it was a well with 20 little pipes on, inside it. And I still don't know what is that. What is that created for? Why would someone defend the well? Or I don't know. It's the thing I
That's
have no answer for. Really, really, really.
that's the stuff where like when you see it, you're like, what the hell happened here? You want to know, but you never know. That's why you create your own story of what happens.
Yes, and yes, that's what I do outside of Counter-Strike. I spend time with my girl. I travel. I like to travel. I like to explore. There's a big world we live in, and
Oh, and we'll see a little of it.
we see nothing really,
We see
and we,
nothing really.
and we know nothing, and we see nothing
Exactly.
because we spent like
Too much time in our homes.
100 hours for work in Counter-Strike. If you want to be good, you need to spend a lot of time there. So this is my.
Speaking of 100 hours of work, do you have any nades, any mollies, any flashes that Nart has not figured out yet that you can hide from him before he figures it out?
Yeah, I think there is some, at least one, maybe one flash. I don't know. I didn't look into the all YouTube videos he made or clips he made in VK, but I think there might be some Nate. I saw myself in this videos when he's saying like signature Jerry move to push underpass or something. But I think there might be one. I'm not often using some flash, but I will not show it. Let him
There we
find on
go.
itself.
Let him find it. He will find it. He will eventually find everything. He finds everything.
Yes, I see he's really dedicated, and
Oh, he
he-
is.
he's not missing any part. Like not
Nope.
missing for sure.
All right. Thank you, Jerry, so much for joining us on this Sunday. We missed some of the matchups, but let me refresh it really fast to see what happened. FaZe got 0-3.
Really?
Yeah, B and A won.
Oh my god. They won in the
Wow.
rush.
Wow. Okay, that ends that ends everything right there.
Oh my god.
Holy wow. Um I'm shocked.
And we lost to them. We lost to Bad News Eagles
My
from
god.
11-4 on Ancient, and we should have
Wow.
2-0 them to
You
get
should have
into the major. And here we are. Now they're winning phase.
they beat FaZe. This is survival one more day. And
This is
FaZe
Counterstrike.
we're gonna get a new major champion. Guaranteed. Could be Cloud9. We'll see.
Yes, yes, yes. It's
All right,
really
I want to thank you again so much for joining us and having a chance to talk about you, forZe, everything. And I hope you had some fun as well.
yes, I do. To thank you for invitation and time. Thanks everyone who watched this. Follow for the team.
And there we go.
Look at
Follow
our
forZe, follow
yeah,
his Twitter, follow everything.
look at our results. Maybe we can surprise you once again with the new roster. So keep you informed.
All right, this is Saga here from CS Out Here. We're closing off. Thank you.
Thank you.